Finally, I got all of the new essences for Necromancer and I came up with one more new build. This one is more on the support side, so our own damage is a little bit lower than my latest build and it's definitely lower than the highest DPS build I shared a couple of days ago. But I think this build is an even better buffer than a Crusader. Especially if you're a low resonance necro with lower stats, this build can be really good for you since your damage might not mean much for your team in the first place. So you can use this build in dungeons, raids and gauntlets to help out your teammates. By the way, your own damage output is not going to be terrible either. You are going to have a good burst and decent consistent damage. Now I will start explaining the build with the skills we are using. First, we have Command Column with only one essence and that's the new offhand. It's kinda unusual to see Command Column without a main hand essence, but the new essence brought some new build options. Thanks to the new offhand essence, Command Column makes nearby enemies vulnerable, causing them to take 15.2% increased damage. Next, we have Common Skeleton with 3 different essences. None of the essences we use for Common Skeleton is new. We have the classic trio, Calls for Eyes, No Rest No Peace and the Prong. I am sure you already know what they do, and if you don't know, you will learn when we talk about the legendary items in a minute. After that, we have our Skeletal Mage without any essences because our shoulders and offhand items are not available for Skeletal Mage essences. This skill still deals a good amount of damage even without any essences. Next, we have Bone Armor with 3 different essences. Shoulders essence increases everyone's primary attack speed by 28.5%, Legs increases everyone's critical hit chance by 14%, and that 14% can be lower than that depending on your or the receiver's current critical hit chance bonus. And Chest Essence gives you and all nearby party members 5 charges of damage immunity, which includes your summons too, so they don't die quickly. And lastly, we have our primary attack skill Bone Spear, which is very important because thanks to the new main add essence, Bone Spear also destroys enemy armor for 3.2 seconds, increasing the critical hit damage they take by 20%, and I believe your whole team benefits from this. Now let's check out our set items. Right now I am using 4 pieces of Shepherd and 2 pieces of Shalbaz, but if you have 6 pieces of Shepherd you can use that as well, both setups should be fine. Alright, after set items we can talk about legendary items. For the headpiece we are using Calls for Eyes. Common Skeletons now causes your skeletal champions to explode at their destination, damaging all nearby enemies. For the chest we have Parting Gift. Bone Armor now grants you and all nearby party members 5 charges of damage immunity, each of which prevents all damage from a single hit. And for the shoulders we have this one. Bone Armor also increases primary attack speed by 28.5%. And for the pants we have the new Bone Armor essence. Bone Armor also increases critical hit chance by 14%. And once again we are using a new essence for the main hand too. Bone Spear also destroys enemy armor for 3.2 seconds, increasing the critical hit damage they take by 20%. And for the offhand we are using the new Command Column essence. Command Column also makes nearby enemies vulnerable, causing them to take 15.2% increased damage. And for the additional main hand we are using No Rest No Peace. When common skeletons die, they grant nearby allies 38% increased attack speed for 3 seconds. And lastly, for the additional offhand we have the Prong. Decreases time required to raise new skeletal champions by 57%. Other than that, try to get damage done by your summons, increased magical attribute on your set items, and critical hit chance plus critical hit damage magical attributes on your legendary items. And finally, use Weaver Paragon tree when you are doing dungeons and raids, and for the point distribution, max out your damage and armor pan first, and then you can max out your armor and potency. Of course, after that use your remaining points on life. I think that's all I can say about this build. Let me know if you have any suggestions to improve it and share your experience with it too. Thanks for listening and take care.